Have you ever walked into your own home and felt tired? Not physically tired, but heavy, unmotivated, almost like something was quietly pulling your energy down. And what's strange is, nothing looks wrong. The house is clean enough. Everything is where it should be. And yet, something feels off. Here's the truth most people don't realize. If your home feels heavy, chaotic, or draining, it's usually not the space itself. It's what you're still keeping inside it. And that invisible weight, it's costing you more energy than you realize. Every single day. Especially if you've been feeling stuck, unmotivated, or mentally cluttered lately. This might be the reason. Today, I want to walk you through 7 things you need to remove from your home if you want more clarity, calm, and forward momentum in your life. Not from a place of minimalism, and not from perfection, but from a place of mental and emotional freedom. As we go through this list, stay open, because one of these will probably hit closer than you expect. Transition. Your environment is not neutral. It's either supporting the person you're becoming or quietly anchoring you to a version of yourself you've already outgrown. Let's start with the first one. 1. Anything tied to an old version of you. Take a slow look around your home. Old clothes you never wear. Objects from a phase of your life that no longer represents who you are. Symbols of goals you've already moved beyond. Here's something I learned the hard way. Growth requires space, and the past takes up more room than we think. When you keep items tied to an old version of yourself, you send a subtle message to your brain. This is still who I am. Even if you've changed internally, your environment hasn't caught up yet. Ask yourself honestly, does this represent who I am now, or who I used to be? You don't need to erase your past, but you don't need to live surrounded by it either. 2. Gifts from people who hurt you. This one matters more than people admit. Objects carry emotional residue. A gift from someone who caused you pain doesn't become neutral just because time has passed. Your nervous system remembers every time you see it. And most people hesitate here because they think, but it was expensive. But they meant well. But I feel guilty letting it go. Let me say this clearly and gently. Your piece is worth more than the price tag. If the memory feels heavy, the object is heavy too. Removing it isn't bitterness, it's self-respect. You're allowed to choose an environment that supports healing, not one that quietly reopens old wounds. 3. Things you keep just in case. You know the place, the drawer, the closet, the garage, filled with things you might need someday. Here's the uncomfortable truth. Clutter often disguises itself as preparation, but most of the time, it's fear pretending to be practical. Fear of not having enough. Fear of needing something later. Fear of letting go. Ask yourself, when was the last time this actually helped me? If it hasn't served you in years, it's not just in case. It's just in the way. And every unnecessary item is a small mental decision your brain has to process every single day. That adds up. And before we move on, let me ask you something important. So far, did one item already come to mind? That's not random. That's usually the one holding the most energy. And the next few are where most people feel the biggest shift, because this is where clutter turns into self-judgment. 4. Anything you haven't used in a year. This rule is simple, but powerful. If it hasn't supported your life in the last 12 months, it's silently blocking what's trying to enter next. Space is not empty. Space is potential. When your shelves and rooms are filled with unused items, there's no room for new habits, new opportunities, new energy. Letting go creates room, not just physically, but psychologically. And more often than not, what enters next feels lighter than what you released. 5. Items that remind you of failure. Old projects, unfinished plans, objects tied to mistakes you still judge yourself for. You don't need trophies from old failures. The lesson stays, even when the object leaves. Keeping these items doesn't prove resilience. It usually reinforces self-criticism. Ask yourself honestly, am I keeping this to learn or to punish myself? Growth doesn't require constant reminders of what went wrong. It requires compassion and forward motion. 6. Broken things you keep meaning to fix. This one drains more energy than people realize. A broken lamp, a cracked chair, something that's been on the list for months. If months have passed, it's probably not getting repaired. And every time you see it, your brain quietly registers. Something unfinished. Something wrong. Something I'm avoiding. Visual disorder creates mental noise. Even when you think you've learned to ignore it, fix it, replace it, or let it go, your nervous system will feel the difference immediately. 7. Belongings from people. No longer in your life. This is the deepest one. If someone has walked out of your life by choice or by circumstance, their belongings don't need to stay behind. Holding on to them often means holding on to a version of life that no longer exists. Letting go doesn't mean you didn't care. It means you're honoring reality. And reality is where peace begins. Your home should reflect your present, not a chapter that's already closed. Reflection. Pause. Take a moment. As you listen to this list, one item probably stood out more than the others. That's the one your energy is ready to release. You don't need to overhaul your entire home today. You don't need perfection. You just need one intentional decision. Your environment shapes your mindset more than you realize. What you see every day becomes what you feel every day. And what you feel every day, quietly, shapes how you live. So here's my invitation to you. Remove just one thing today. One item that no longer belongs. And notice how different you feel tonight. If this video helped you feel a little lighter, a little clearer, or more at ease, this channel is for you. Make sure to subscribe for more conversations about clarity, calm, and control. Without overwhelm. Thank you for being here, and I'll see you in the next video.